The crypto markets are about to have a triple death cross. These are so rare, it's only happened 3 times, and after each time, the same exact surprise move happened, and it happened fast, and it was really bloody. Take a look. The last time this cross happened was 2022. We had this cross right here, and it was really fast and a horrific mega crash directly to our market bottom. The time before that, 2018, cross happened right here, and you can see it was a devastating bloodbath straight down to our market cycle bottom. It happened fast. The time before that, 2014, death cross happened right here. Directly after that, it was an absolute plummet of a mega crash, happened fast, right down to our market cycle bottom. Well, guess what? We're about to have another one. And in today's video, I'm going to let you know what you should be prepared for right now for your Bitcoin and for your altcoins. Let's get into it. For the past 8 years, I've called every major Bitcoin bottom publicly on YouTube, and those calls have turned out to be the best trades of the entire cycle. The next bottom is coming way faster than people think. In fact, it's almost here already. And 99% of the people will completely miss it. Not because they're dumb, not because they didn't see it. They will miss it because they didn't know how to act when volatility is at its worst. In the last cycle bottom, did you hesitate? Did you wait for it to go much lower? Did you completely miss it? Did you freeze? Did you panic? Do you have regrets from the last bottom? You don't miss bottoms because you lack intelligence. You miss them because you lack a decision framework under pressure. So this time, I'm not making any bottom call on YouTube. I'm opening up the exact capital deployment system I personally use at cycle bottoms. I'm talking about how and when I scale in, how I manage risk, how much I will buy of Bitcoin versus how much I will buy of altcoins. So when everyone else is panicking, hesitating, and frozen in fear, you're executing with precision, because the bottom isn't impossible to spot, but it is incredibly hard to act on. And when the next bottom hits, there won't be time to think, only time to execute before it's too late. 99% of people will completely miss this bottom. Don't let that be you. Join my waitlist right now and get priority access to my new Bottoms Masterclass and get the guaranteed lowest price before it opens to the public. Join my waitlist now. The link is in the description, or go to cryptocrewuniversity.com. Again, that's cryptocrewuniversity.com. I'll see you on the inside. So here we are, Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the 3-day chart. On the 3-day chart, we have a green line and we have a red line. Now, the green line is the 50 MA, which you can go to your indicators and you type in moving average, put that bad boy on, put it on 50, throw yourself on the 3-day chart, and then throw a second moving average on, put that bad boy at 200, put that one in red, and what you're going to look for is the green guy crossing through the red. You can see on your chart right now, we don't have false signals. This thing's not crossing up and down and back and forth, giving you false signals. We don't mess with false signals. We cover facts. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. And we've only had 3 of these, and all 3 were a complete bloodbath directly after. They happened so fast, they surprised everybody, but not anymore. You can see where we're at right now. We are close to crossing, and I want to give you today what you should be prepared for, what you should be doing right now with your Bitcoin, what you should be doing right now with your altcoins, and how to get ready for this huge move that's about to come that will take the world by storm. Let's take our journey back to 2014. We need to better understand these, and we need to better understand what happens directly after them, and what was the best move. What was the move to make when you had this cross? What should people have done back in 2014, right before this cross? How should they have gotten prepared for this cross to better have their portfolio in a significantly better position once we got down into this area? You could see 2014. we had the 3-day death cross. And by the way, when we say triple death cross, it's on the 3-day chart. What you can look at are death crosses on the 1-day chart, a lot of false signals. And you already know, you saw me cover the 2-day death cross months ago, calling for a mega crash that's coming. That happens in 2 phases. The 2-day death cross is kind of the first phase of the mega crash. Okay. Now, for those of you who are relatively new, Bitcoin was sitting pretty at about $91,000. And what I had to say was this. So the bad news is history is telling us we're about to have a mega crash. So you can see from there at 91,000, we had the mega crash. We dropped all the way down to 60-ish thousand. And then we've rebounded since then up into 70s. And we've been bouncing around in that channel. But the talk of the street is, you know what? Maybe we're starting to form a bottom. Maybe there's something here. And I've come loud and clear and I've said, no. Pump the brakes. We're going to have a second mega crash. And I'm going to show you facts. It's not going to be my opinion. It's not going to be a coin flip. It's definitely not going to be what I hope were to happen. I don't want a mega crash. By the way, I need your help. We need to help more people in crypto. We need to wake them up to this huge move that's going to happen. It's going to shock the world. It's going to be bloody. It's going to happen really, really fast. Everyone's going to be confused and everyone's going to dismiss it. And it's going to be the bottom. It's going to be the best opportunity in the next 10 years. I need you to share this video. Share this video with everyone you know in crypto. We need to help them. Share this video in the forums. Share it in the platforms. Share it across social media. I need you to share this. We need to help people. This huge move happens the same way for the entire history of Bitcoin. Let's help people. Share this video now. I'm just here to give you facts. Take a look. 2014, you can see there's no fake crosses up and down and blah, blah, blah. The green line was on top for years. You could see it right in front of you. You don't need a PhD to understand the green line has been on top for years, and you can see when it crossed down right here. So the death cross is when that 50 crosses below the 200. You can have a death cross in the 1 day, the 2 day, the 3 day, the weekly death cross. You can have all of that. What we are covering right now is one of the most accurate signals in the whole crypto space. One of the most accurate for your altcoins. One of the most accurate for your Bitcoins. And the same thing happens after each cross. The same exact pattern. Take a look. 2014, we had this cross right here. We're going to zoom in. You can see the cross happened here, and look at what happened. It was a slippery slope. We just plummeted in price. It was a disaster. It happened so fast that people didn't even know what hit them. It was suddenly completely blood covering the streets. But let me tell you something. These are not obvious when you get down into this bottom. When we hit the bottom, everybody thinks the bottoms are obvious. They're never obvious. 99% of people will completely screw it up, including you and probably everyone you know from the prior bottoms. They are so difficult because everybody will dismiss them. Everybody will say, we're going much lower. Just don't buy yet. We're going much lower. And we never do. So 2014, it was just 26 days. 26. We had the cross. 26 days later, we reached the absolute bottom. And we never went lower ever again in the history of Bitcoin. It was that moment right there. We never went lower. Everybody waits for it to go lower once we drop down. You'll see. That happened last time. It happened the time before that. And it's going to happen again. Let's go to the next one. You could see green line on top the whole way. It was sky's the limit. Bitcoin was going to the moon. We went all the way up to 20,000. Even though everybody was chanting 100,000, 250,000, we went up to 20,000 and we started to come down. We started to hold this red line, the 200 MA, as support. And we were riding into this 3-day death cross. Now, those of you who are OGs of the channel, shout out to the OGs. You remember, I sat right here in this chair and I called for this mega crash. And everybody laughed at me. Thousands and thousands of people unsubscribed. 3-day death cross? Is Steve on drugs? What is he talking about? A mega crash? We've already bottomed at 6,000. Doesn't he know anything about the charts? That's what everybody said. I got into trading when I was 16, If you can tell by my face, I'm not 16 anymore. I've been doing this for decades. I love the charts, but I usually tell you what you don't want to hear because I tell you the facts in the charts, where everybody else tells you what you want to hear. Oh, this thing's going to pump. It's going to recover. No, we're not. Period. So look at what happened. We had this 3-day death cross, which I covered 8 years ago. We had this humongous crash. They said that 6,000 was the bottom. I said there's no chance in hell. We went all the way down to 3,000 right after the triple death cross. It was only 33 days from the cross directly to the bottom. It was a bloodbath. It was horrific. And by the way, once we got down to 3,000, all the people that were chanting 6,000's the bottom, they all said, we're going to 1,000, we're going to 500, don't buy until we get to 700. Guess what? That was the bottom at 3,000. We never touched 1,000. We never touched 700 ever again in the crypto history. Those people, maybe they're still waiting. Here's what happened next. From there, we obviously recovered. We started bouncing up. We had our double top. We came right down like we do every single cycle, right down to this 200 MA. We held it as support for a while, and I sat in this chair 4 years ago. I sat in this chair 4 years ago, warning everybody. I said, hey, 4 years ago, I told you about that death cross. Everybody laughed at me. I told them again. They didn't believe me again. I said it would be very fast to our bottom. It was only 33 days. Guess what? It's pretty much the same as 2018 was 33 days. We had 26 in 2014. We had 33 in 18, and we had just 33 in 2022. It happens fast. These are bloody. These are very rare occurrences, and it happens in stages. Again, the 2-day death cross is the first wave of the mega crash, and the 3-day death cross is the second wave of the mega crash that's been happening for the history of Bitcoin. I don't expect it to change. Now, again, let's get you prepared. I need to get you prepared what you should be doing right now. So you can see we had this cross. The green line goes through the red line. It happened right here when we were roughly 30,000. And we fell fast to 17. We fell fast. Again, when I called this here, the 3-day death cross, and I called this the first bottom, once again, everybody dismissed me. Oh, Steve's been so accurate, but there's no way in hell. We're going to 3K, we're going to 4K, but we're definitely going to below 10, probably to 7, probably to 6. That was 90% of the people in crypto. They were chanting the same thing. I was chanting, that's the first bottom. You should be buying. Once again, men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. So in retrospect, what should people have done when you see the 3-day death cross? The simple strategy is the exit and rebuy specialist, right? These typical traders, they love opportunities to exit the market and rebuy when it goes lower. The only problem is when they exit the market, they're guessing when to rebuy. There's no exact strategy. And then once we actually hit a bottom, it is not obvious at all. Nobody knows what the hell is going on. But the high majority say that we're going a lot lower. It's so confusing. Social media is overwhelming. Everybody has a different opinion. But men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. But it's so hard to act at the bottom. You remember the bottom. I called the bottom. I told everybody to buy at 17,000, 16,000, and 15,000. But did you buy? It was probably really difficult to buy because the rest of the world was saying that I was crazy and that there's no way in hell that this is the bottom. We know that Bitcoin never again in the history of Bitcoin went as low as 15, 16, and 17,000. In fact, you would probably chop off your arm right now just for the opportunity to buy at 15, 16, 17,000. These moves happen fast. There's blood in the streets, but there's complete uncertainty. Now, what should somebody have done? If they weren't out of the market yet, these 3-day death crosses are a good opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to trust the charts. Let me get out of the way for a minute and let me try to buy back when it goes lower. The only problem is you need a very specific strategy of when to buy back, how much to buy back, how to mitigate risk, how to maximize reward. You need the proper structure. You need to know how much you buy in altcoins, how much you buy in Bitcoin. You need a strategy, which is why I'm here to help you. For those of you that have taken any of my courses, you know my courses are a complete game changer. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into my courses, and this time I'm giving my actual blueprint of what to do at the bottom. Exactly. Simple, step by step. Whether you're 5 years old or 105, you're going to be able to follow it, and you're going to be able to dominate, unlike any chance you've had ever in the history of crypto. So you can see we had this as our double bottom, and the same thing repeats. We go up in price. We have our first top here. We have our double top here. We come down to our red line, the same thing every time. And then we're leading into our death cross. So now I want to talk about what somebody should do. Okay. So when you're looking in the market and you're understanding, okay, now I'm starting to see it. Maybe Steve's onto something. He's been warning us about this mega crash thing. I don't know what he's doing, but now, it's starting to make sense a little bit. So before each 3-day death cross, in retrospect, if you were still in the market and you were still in altcoins and you were still in Bitcoin, and by the way, everybody's big question is like, oh my God, are altcoins going to do something dramatically different? No. They will not. In fact, a typical rule of thumb is what your altcoins will do while Bitcoin is having a mega crash is they will also crash, but a little bit more. Meaning, let's say Bitcoin goes down 25%. Your altcoins will probably go down 35%, right? Let's say Bitcoin crashes 50%. Your altcoins might crash 60%. Whatever Bitcoin's going to do, altcoins will do it a little bit more. There's just more risk in altcoins, and Bitcoin is considered the safe haven. As wild as that sounds, if you're in the crypto space, you're like, what? Bitcoin's safe? This is a roller coaster. Yes, it is. Bitcoin is volatile, but yeah, make no mistake about it, altcoins are more volatile. So when you're looking at this and you're still sitting in your Bitcoin and you're still sitting in your altcoins, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. But if I was talking to a buddy of mine and I was saying, look, I know maybe you held through the storm last time, or maybe you were trading in and out last time, or maybe you missed it last time, or maybe you got scared last time, or you were frozen in time last time. What you're going to want to do, and this is what I would tell my best friend that's sitting right here in front of me. What I would tell them, honestly, real talk, I would say, look, I need to be honest with you for a second. Look at the facts. I know whatever anybody in social media is saying, cool, great. These are facts. This has happened every time. Trust the chart. If you're sitting in Bitcoin and you're sitting in altcoins, it's probably in your best interest to sell those now and get back into the market at a strategic time. But I do not recommend you do it yourself. Unless you've studied trading and investing for more than 10 years, you can do it yourself. But take my course. I can guarantee that this is going to be one of your best opportunities of the next 10 years, and you do not want to mess it up with trying to guess what to do. I will give you the blueprint. I've lived through this. Honestly, that's what I would tell them. Real talk. You guys know, straight shooter, there's no BS. I would tell my best friends in the world to sign up to the Bitcoin bottom blueprint. When I built that thing, it's going to amaze you. It's so simple. It's easy to follow. That's just real talk. I'm trying to keep it as real as I possibly could. I would tell my own mother that. I would tell my wife that. I would tell whoever is in the crypto space, that's what I would tell them to do. I make things that actually help people dramatically improve, period. So that's honestly what I would say to do. Real talk, okay? You can roll the dice and do it yourself, but you have to understand this is the best opportunity in 10 years. This is the best opportunity you'll have. Don't mess it up. Don't try to be a hero. Don't let your ego get in the way. I let my ego get in the way when I was younger. Don't let your ego get in the way. Real talk. Look at your results and what you've done on your own. Don't let your ego get in the way. Real talk. Now, when you look at it and you can say, okay, now I'm starting to see it. We are having a cross. What do I expect to happen? Well, I expect more of the same. You can see we're pretty consistent with the days. 26 days to the bottom, 33 days to the bottom, and 33 days for the bottom. That's the past 12 years. So can we expect between 20 and 30, maybe 40 days to the bottom? Absolutely. Now, keep in mind, that's 30 days, 40 days, 20 days from the time we have a cross. So the first question is, well, when are we going to have a cross? We're going to have a cross right towards the end of the month. Right towards the end of the month, we're going to have a cross. So when you're looking at the month of March, things may start getting bloody in the month of March. And we may have a bottom in March. And if we don't have a bottom in March, we're going to have a bottom in April. It's very likely that the month of March or the month of April, there's going to be a pretty large bloodbath and a potential bottom, and everyone's going to dismiss it. Nobody's going to think it's the bottom. Everybody's going to think we're going a lot lower. Everybody's going to be waiting for the next fall lower, and it will never come. For the history of Bitcoin, it will never come. 99% of the people will completely miss it. People will be frozen in fear. It will be a disaster. I'm here to make sense of it. So I want you to get prepared now. I want you to get ready now, mentally ready now. I need you to get ammo ready now, and I need you to be ready. This will be the best opportunity of the next 10 years. Don't let your ego get in the way. The bottom is coming fast, and when it hits, you will not have time to think. 99% of people will completely miss it. You remember all the mistakes you made last time. This is literally going to be the best investment opportunity of the next 10 years for you. If you want to dominate this bottom better than you've ever dominated any bottom before, join my waitlist right now. CryptoCrewUniversity.com. Link is in the description.